What does spending a week in Washington, D.C., jumping off a high dive and speaking here tonight have in common? Well, they're all things I did not want to do, but did anyway. And I know what you're thinking. If you didn't want to do it, why are you giving this TED Talk right now? The answer can be easily summed up by a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. Do one thing each day that scares you. But this can be hard. We as human beings are creatures of comfort. Anything that takes us outside of what we know tends to make us uneasy. For me, my comfort zone is a line drawn in the sand. And while the daredevils among us might like to cozy up to that line or even tow their way across it, I keep a safe distance from my own. A very safe distance. I know I'm not alone in this. Others like me struggle to muster up the courage to do what we love, not mentioning the things we're afraid of. But why does this matter? Why can't we all just go on living complacently, tucked away inside our individual boxes? What is the value in feeling uncomfortable? Picture this. It's 10 o'clock at night and I am crying in my bed. A week-long journalism and media conference that I have been planning on attending for months is fast approaching. A week spent sleeping in a bed that is not my own, talking to people I do not know, and attempting things I have never tried. A week nowhere near my comfort zone. Maybe not even on the same planet. Crippled by anxiety and sick to my stomach, I crumble under the pressure of it all. My mother tries to comfort me. You don't have to go, she tells me, and I want nothing more than to agree with her. My entire being is fighting against me, but I dig in my heels. This is one line I have to cross. You see, at that moment, the only thing that scared me more than going on that trip to DC was not going. Going meant I would have to bare myself to the world. I would have to put myself out there in a way I had never done before. I would have to feel uncomfortable. Not going meant I would be forever chained at the ankle, unable to live unimpeded by worry or self-doubt. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life afraid, always a few feet behind that line in the sand which taunts me. So I went on that trip to DC. I did a lot of things that week that scared me, not just one. I stayed in a college dorm room with a girl I didn't know. I wandered the streets of Washington, D.C. with nothing but a map but a newfound friend to guide me. And I had a personal interview with a member of Congress in his office as he shooed away lobbyists vying for his time. And in spite of all of those things that scared me, I would not trade 1 second of that trip for the world. There are too many moments in our lives just like this. We become so caught up in what we think we can and cannot do, we lose sight of the bigger picture. Our comfort zones become so real to us, so tangible. We stop thinking of them as malleable and instead as rigid, unyielding certainties. In turn, the windowless boxes we have built to house our hopes and dreams ensure that our hopes and dreams never see the light of day. The only way to accomplish anything is to step outside of these boxes, to do the things that scare us, the things that make us feel uncomfortable. But even if I could guarantee that everything would work out in the end, taking that first step still goes against everything in our human nature. It's like standing at the edge of a high dive, looking down. Frozen by fear, petrified by the unknown, the icy water below begins to look like concrete. What once was a simple step forward suddenly becomes a plunge to certain death. In times like this, there isn't really a solution. Living life to the fullest will not be achievable by following the easiest path. You have to take that leap of faith and know there's water at the bottom to to catch you. I'm giving this TED Talk today because I love giving speeches, but it wasn't always that way. To stand up here on this stage at the edge of this high dive, I had to overcome more than just a fear of public speaking. I had to overcome the confines I had created for myself. So, what is something you've never done simply because it scared you? Talking to that cute boy who sits next to you in math class? Leaving home? Skydiving? Now, go out and do it. Nobody ever got anywhere by standing still.